All right. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Monday, June 30th. Holy cow. There isn't a June 31st, is there? So we're about done. Yeah. How are you guys? How was the weekend? What is going on? What's going on up in there? How are we doing? Whew. Yeah. Nice out today. It's going to be a good day here in Maine. Hang on. Let me just look at the weather. Um, yeah, look at that. High of 83, but don't get too crazy because we got rain tomorrow. Oh, and then the rest of the week, shitty. So good. So enjoy today. To your information. Touring Man is here. Good to see you, buddy. Kevin Lee in the house. How are we, guys? I got a 76 on the sleep score, digging for the backside of my second cup of coffee. Mike Nunez. Good to see you over on Instagram. Appreciate you jumping in now and then. How are things? Post in the chat, guys. How you doing? Yeah. So, Touring Man says, thanks to the power and knowledge I received from you, I started to achieve great things. I think I'm now entering the American market. I have already received my first big order. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Tell us about what you do. I see you. I see you weaving through traffic on your motorcycle and doing doing crazy stuff. So I'm like, I gotta get to know this guy. So, yeah, it's cool. You got a nice bike too. Good stuff. So, hey, and I really appreciate that. We've done this. I think this is day, I don't know, 185 or 6 or 7. I'll do the math after. But I appreciate that. I do this. I don't know. I started doing it honestly to just get more exposure for my coaching business. But it's really created a family of people that get together every morning. So reach out, invite, and bring people with you. So Alex Redmond, good morning, sir. Thank you for the shout out this weekend. Yeah, absolutely. I know you've been through a lot. For those of you guys that don't know, Alex lost a longtime mentor and friend, and I'm going to say another dad this weekend in Bob. So and Bill did too, and you know those guys were tight and worked together. So I hate to see that happen, but I know he's in a better place and he's not in pain anymore. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't really have anything more to say than that. It's just something needed to be said. So I appreciate you, and long live Bob's legacy through you. So good morning, George Ross. How are you? Wendy is here. Of course, she has to be, right? Roy Dahl, the original OG, is here. Good to see you. Yeah. Warm down here this morning. Might have to turn the unit on. Good morning, Dave Howard. How are you? 9.5 coming in. Yeah. What is happening? Had a kind of a chill weekend. Needed it. Wendy did some thing with some girlfriends, and I just took some time. I say I took some time. I was on the laptop a lot, but not just going somewhere and doing something. Just spent some time chilling out. So I would be here even if I didn't have to be. Good answer. Yeah. Well, thank you. Appreciate that. I said, like, Susie's here. Susie Winship 9. S Winship 9. Good to see you, Susie. How are you, kid? Thanks for jumping on. Yeah, guys, I'm having a blast. We were talking last week about being resilient. I got a few more days on that, a couple more things I want to share. I was chatting with Steve Rosenberg this morning, so don't be surprised if he kicks the door down and comes in here and what the hell's going on? I told him to let me know if he wants the link. So who knows? I could have a surprise visitor this morning. But yeah, guys, post in the chat how you doing, 1 to 10. And make sure you're sharing this out. By the way, I don't know if you know, we went over 2,000 people in the Summit free Facebook group. It's a private Facebook community, but it's free. It's not anything that you have to pay to be a part of. It's just a community I started at the end of 2022 to just spread positivity and pull people together and put something decent on Facebook rather than politics and crap and people trying to make themselves look like something they're not. So it's, I expect you to be vulnerable in there, raw, real, and relevant, post good stuff. And as a few people have found out, if you do the politics or you say something that's kind of passive aggressive or you're going at somebody, then you're shown the door. You exit stage left. And fortunately, that's only happened a few times. So I got a zero tolerance policy. I don't send you a note and say, yeah, hey, that's really not something I want on the page. We We just click, click, clickety click, and you gone. That's how that goes. So keep it positive. Keep it helpful. What is that saying you say, Wendy? Is it kind? Is it necessary? Can you type that in there? She's always saying that to me because I need to hear it sometimes. I'll be honest. So yeah, so good weekend overall. Charged the batteries a little bit. We took some time yesterday, got into a new series, Waterfront, I guess it's called. So gonna work through that. I like to at the at the end of the day, at the end of the night, flip on the TV, maybe wind down to something, but there's nothing on TV. So we started a new Netflix thing. So we'll watch an episode of that here and there. Is it kind? Is it helpful? Is it necessary? Thank you. Yes. Ask yourself that before you post on the summit, and you and I will get along just fine. Bill Gustafson coming in at an 8. Dave Howard, don't mistake my kindness for weakness. Yes, absolutely. Like Patrick Swayze said in Roadhouse, be nice, always be nice. And then Billy Jackham. Yeah, well, anyway, and we get into that. I don't know the actors' names, but it was pretty good, and we watched more episodes than we probably should have on a Sunday night, but, shoot me, right? It's all right. We got to do something there once in a while. So today, I want to talk about letting go of the need for approval or ease, okay? We get rid of comfort, getting rid of what people think, getting rid of, not doing something because so-and-so might not like that. You ever have somebody in the back of your mind that you think you kind of do things and you're like, well, what are they going to think about that? Or you don't post something because, that's kind of, I don't want so-and-so to see that and then think this and that. Okay. But we've been talking about resilience. I want to talk about how letting go of the need for approval kind of dovetails into that. Okay. Resilience can't grow where comfort and people pleasing run the show. Good morning, Tim Bartolini. Big dog. Yeah. Happy Monday, brother. To become truly unshakable, you have to stop needing things to feel easy, right? And stop needing others to understand or validate your path in some way. Okay, let me make my notes bigger so I can see. There we go. Yeah, comfort is the enemy of growth. Would you agree? Yeah, put your fist pump in the chat if you agree. Comfort is the enemy of growth. We are hardwired to seek safety and ease, right? We want to be comfortable, but growth is where growth lives in discomfort. Okay. Growth lives in discomfort. When you constantly seek the path of least resistance, you train yourself to avoid challenge. Yeah. Resilient people aren't reckless. I'm not talking about just going ham here, okay? But if you're always comfortable, you're probably not growing. You know those people, like you check in with them. You got people in your life right now that 5 years ago, they were doing the same thing they're doing right now. They're hanging out with the same people, going to the same place on Wednesday night, having the same stuff, and there's nothing wrong with that, okay? But if you're on this call and you're in our community, that probably doesn't blend well with you, right? Okay, so the addiction to approval weakens resilience. You don't need everyone's approval. Do what you want. Because the more you need others to get it, like it or praise it, the more fragile your mindset becomes. Right? People pleasing keeps you reactive. Your confidence rises and falls based on external validation. Right? Real resilience equals doing what's right even when it's not popular. So if you're waiting for approval, you've already given away your power. You gave someone else control. Post the thing. Say what you want. Go where you want. Be with who you want to be. Do what you want to do. Good morning, Dave Zemchak. Good to see you. I missed a few of you guys before I started my rant. Yeah, here's some signs you're still holding on to comfort or approval. You overthink simple decisions. Good morning, Josh Baker. Good to see you. Yeah, if you're still holding on to comfort or approval, you're probably overthinking the simple stuff still. You're delaying taking action until you get that reassurance. You change your goals, your tone, your style based on who's watching. You avoid difficult conversations to kind of keep the peace. Yeah, all of those things. Hang on one second. All of those things rob you of the strength and self trust resilience requires. Hang on, let me just grab this link here. Do, 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 do. Yeah. So, guys, letting go means choosing the harder right over the easier wrong. It's doing the work even when no one's clapping, standing tall when others misunderstand, question, or criticize you, becoming more committed to your vision than their opinion. We don't care what they think. We don't care what they think. So the truth is, you weren't built for a life of ease and applause. You were built to lead, to grow, to rise. Resilient leaders get comfortable being uncomfortable. It's simple. They just do the thing and being misunderstood. They get comfortable with that. People are like, why are you doing that? People used to say to me, why are you doing all those crazy runs and rides and bikes and swims? And why are you getting up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning? Because I want to be uncomfortable. I want to get better. I want to improve. I don't want to stay where I'm at. So ask yourself, where am I still chasing comfort or approval? And then challenge yourself to identify one thing that you can let go of today, whether it's delaying a hard conversation, hey, get rid of the filter on social media, right? I don't even know how to use that. Needing someone's permission or avoiding the difficult choice that leads to growth. Okay. So ask yourself this: today I let go of X so that I can grow into Y. Today I let go of this so I can grow into that. Write it down. I challenge you to share it. Don't care what people think, guys. Basically, fuck all to that. I don't swear a lot on my live, but just fuck that. Okay? Right, Steve?
Man, you are coming out swinging today, brother. What did you have this morning?
You want me over 75 on the sleep score on a Monday and a couple coffees deep, brother. We're coming at
Holy
you.
shit, man. Last day of the quarter comes out swinging.
How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I am so I'm in Houston, so it's 7:12 a.m. and I'm at the just finished the gym, waiting for the dry cleaner that opens at 7.
Yep.
But it's 7:12. I'm not
There you
really.
go.
Maybe I use a different clock, right? And
Y-
here's the point: you wonder why people can't fucking stay in business, right?
right.
There's like 5 cars deep waiting for their dry cleaning,
Oh yeah. And
and
they're
the sign says 7. But you're the
yeah.
asshole when you say something like, did I miss something?
Right.
Anyways,
Yeah.
I don't want to
Hey,
go. You already got a tirade going. I don't want to put fuel on your
well,
fire.
I think the timing's good. I appreciate you jumping on, but one of the things, and I know because of you spend so much time on stage, so many things that you post on social media, and in order to help people, you kind of have to do this too. And it's what I was talking about today is just letting go of the need for approval, not worrying about what others think. How have you been able to do that in your life and your business?
Yeah, that's a good question because you can go down those rabbit holes of like thinking, everybody's watching you and you have the imposter syndrome. And I remember, when I first started, getting involved, like understanding social media after I sold my first business, I didn't know anything about social media. And, I was talking to somebody and they were like, wow, like you make a lot of videos. You have a lot of knowledge, you this and that. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
thanks. And I was like, how come you like they were trying to, raise capital for some real estate stuff. And I was like, why don't you ever use that as a medium to get what to get capital? And they're like, yeah, I don't want to look dumb. And I'm like, you have 5 fucking friends. Like, who are you looking dumb to? Nobody even knows who you are. Like,
Right.
I'm like, am I like? Do you have this vat of people? The thing is we think we're more important than we really are. Nobody gives a shit. Listen, at
Right.
the end of the day, everybody has their problems. If I bled my heart out to you and I'm like, if you're like, hey Steve, how was your weekend? I'm like, oh Bob, it's fucking horrible, man. I stubbed my foot. Then I think I'm gonna get a ticket because I parked and I ran a red light and this and that. And you're gonna go, I really wasn't fucking asking. Like, I don't really care because at the end of the day, nobody cares, right? We have to
Right.
care more than anyone else. And the reality is you're not as popular as you think. Not as many eyeballs are on you as you think they are.
Yeah.
You have to be authentic with who you are. If I am who I am, right? And I think that you've seen that. And, when I was
Sure.
at, a particular event after I got off stage, actually, before I got on stage, I was hanging out, smoking cigars, drinking whiskey with everyone. And no one even
Yeah.
knew I was a speaker because I was just shooting the shit. And I was like,
Hanging out.
2 a.m. I'm like, holy shit, I gotta get up in the morning for this event.
It is the
And
morning.
the thing is, yeah, it's like, fuck, I gotta go. But my point is when a lot of times people are like, wow, you're just like you are on video. You're just like you are off stage, on stage. I'm
Right.
like, I'm just authentic. That
Yeah.
is who I am. Like, yeah, I am who I am. So my point is if you're authentic and you are who you are, it's not a stretch. Oh, the dry cleaning lady opened. Hang on, I'm on this, so I'm still keep talking.
You going through the drive-through.
I'm going through the drive-through. She's fucking in. All right, so
we can't waste a minute, guys.
can't waste a minute. So, so the thing is you gotta be who you are, right?
Right.
That's the reality of it. If you're not who you are, then it doesn't matter because you're just being fake anyways.
Yeah. What would you say to somebody that's, maybe they've dipped their toe in their water of the personal development, or maybe they've got a business that requires they be, visible and vocal on social. And what would you say to somebody that's kind of hesitating or does a little bit and then stops and doesn't consistent?
Well, I think, listen, I think number one, consistency is the key, right? You've got to be
Right.
consistent in anything you do, whether it's working out, whether it's your diet. I mean, whether it's fucking driving your car, you got to be consistent. Everything
Right.
you do has to be consistent. So the reality is if you're not consistent there, where else are you not consistent in life?
Right.
Because, hold on. Hello.
Yeah, go for it.
Can I get my
my boss says 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock? Oh, okay.
Guess we got you for a while. I'll have a number 7, no onions.
Okay. Well, as we move on down the highway. So what was your? See, we all have shit that happens.
Yeah.
Man.
See, we don't.
I can just say fuck it.
I have zero tolerance for places that aren't open when I want them to be. Right.
Well, it's open. They just don't do pickups until 8 o'clock.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that makes sense.
I love it how they put the onus of the customer experience back on the customer today. Don't you love that? How can they make it easier for themselves
we're open,
to do
but
business?
we're not really open.
Oh yeah, exactly.
We're open, but we're not really open.
Hey, you guys, you've listened to everybody that's listening. You guys hear me bang the drum of our what I call the 2-day takeoff event in Houston, and also our daily sales accelerator. So while we've got Steve captive here, They know what I think and why they should come to Houston. Okay, so let's start with that and tell people what the 2-day takeoff event is, and if they showed up, how they're going to leave differently, and why they should come, even though it's in a couple of weeks.
Well, listen, I think at the end of the day, we all need to be getting better as people, as entrepreneurs. You don't get somewhere and stay, meaning like you don't get to a place, a high level operator, and expect to stay there by doing the same thing. You've got to do something different. So even going to my 2-day event, you're going to learn things that maybe you've heard a year ago. Maybe you heard 5 years ago. Maybe
Right.
you've never even heard them at all. And that one idea makes you an extra $10,000 next month alone just by thinking differently. It's like, so what my question is it's not what it would cost you in your time, right? Because I get it. You've got to come to Houston. God forbid you make a commitment to yourself and self-development, and you've got to make a commitment. But the question is what is it costing you not to take action?
Right.
Because there is a cost. And what I always tell people is like, some people say like, oh, I can't really justify going to a 2-day event. I'm busy. I've got the kids. My wife is on my ass. I got problems. My question is who says you have to justify anything? I've never once said you should justify to invest in yourself. You're not buying a can opener or a computer. You're buying a dream that you have already invested in. All of you are entrepreneurs. You have already invested your most precious asset, which is your time. Why would you not go the next level and go, fuck, what if this guy could give me some knowledge? Does he have a magic word? No. Like, I don't have a magic word. I don't have a magic anything, but I am going to get in your head and I am going to make you think maybe there is a way to be successful. Maybe there's a way to get you to the next level. Or maybe you just need another year of suffering. Maybe you need another year of almost enough time with your kids, almost enough money, almost not fucking stressing and wanting to throw your phone out the window. So maybe you need to struggle more before you can enjoy the life that you really want. You know, I was at NASCAR this weekend. I was talking to a bunch of entrepreneurs, and my brother owns a car dealership, and they were asking me about what I do and stuff. And I was telling them, and I said, it's interesting that when you get, like, we've all gotten a bill that we've never expected, a tax bill, a medical bill. We've all gotten something that we didn't expect to happen, but yet now it's smack dab in our face. And I tell them, I go, isn't it interesting that when somebody else wants their money and they become a priority, you figure out a way to make it happen.
Right.
Like the fact that we're all standing here today, we haven't gone into medical bill jail, tax jail. We figured it out. So why is it that when we have to be resourceful for other people, when they want their money, we always figure out a way to make it happen? But when I come and say, hey, you should invest in yourself, and you're like, man, I really want to, but I don't have the money, but I don't have the time. Why is it that you're resourceful for other people, but you're not resourceful for yourself when it's time to be on the next level, to get yourself around other like-minded people, to do what it takes to be successful? I just, listen, I used to be that way too, until finally I was like, you know what? Fuck it, man. Enough is enough. I'm tired of giving to someone else when I deserve to have the life I want. And honestly, until I started doing that, I never had the life I wanted, because it was always like one day. Look, one day is the busiest day on the calendar because it never comes. And we always, listen, you and I, and even, probably a lot of people on this call always sit there and go, why does that guy have that life? Why does that guy have the business that I deserve to have? And I tell people, the reason that you don't have it, it's not that you don't work hard. It's not that you're not a hard worker. You don't fucking want it. It's because you don't have access to the community and to the tools that they have. People like you, Bubba, Richard, all the people in the group, when they look at your life and they go, why the fuck does Bob have that life? Why does Bubba get to go on cruises? It's not that Bubba works harder. It's that Bubba has access to tools that you don't have, and has access to a community that you don't have, and has a new mindset that you don't have. One more thing, and then I'll shut up, sort of. Think about this. I'm reading a book on psychology of how people buy and why they buy and selling and stuff. And the book said something really interesting. It said, words are just noises coming from our throat. Like, it's just your throat is making a noise, and that forms into a word. So they're like, doesn't it make sense to make those words into what's called a sentence, and have that sentence actually do something like make you money as a result? So you make money as a result of noises coming from your throat. Isn't that weird when you think about it? Like, that actually can make or break your whole life based on the noises coming from your throat. I was like, wow, that is pretty fucking interesting,
Yeah, that's cool. So, guys, what he was talking about was the 2-day takeoff event that we have in Houston. We can get you in. We still have room. We like to try to keep it a little bit tight, just so it's a more intimate experience. And you get 2 days of Steve. I'll be there. Wendy and I will both be there. Bubba Hogan will be there. Richard, I don't believe, is going to be back from his cruise. But the other thing Steve didn't mention is he's got his whole marketing team coming this time. So if you guys are, if you're struggling with your marketing, they're going to be around. You can bend their ears, say, hey, this is what I'm up to. What do you think? There's going to be time for that, and time to network and hang out with people. Hey, excuse me, Steve, pivoting a little bit. One of the other things I always mention on here every day is what I call the DSA, what we call the DSA. Tell these guys a little bit about the Daily Sales Accelerator.
Yeah, well, I am doing the Daily Sales Accelerator today, so it's me. And the Daily Sales Accelerator, it's going to the gym for your sales. We'll say that. It's the daily
Love it.
repetitions of putting in your reps, meaning the daily repetitions of Mindset Monday. So today's Mindset Monday. It's putting in the reps of objection handling Tuesday, increasing revenue for Wednesday, role play Thursday, and free will Friday. So every day you're getting a different person. It's me, Bubba, Richard, Joni. We're all doing a different day at random so that you're not just getting the perspective of Steve. You're getting Bob, Richard, Bubba, Joni, all very, very successful entrepreneurs. We all love sales, but everybody has a different perspective of how we do things. Every day you're putting in the reps, and not just for you, but your salespeople. Like, why would
Right.
you not want your salesperson? It's kind of like somebody saying they're going to get in shape, but they've never been to the gym. It's like, well, how do you do that? I never exercise. Well, you're probably not going to be going to getting in very good shape. How are your salespeople going to make more money for your business if you're not making that your focus? And you may not have time to make that your focus, and that's fine. Let us do it. We become your who's. There's a great book, Who Not How. We are the who's. We are the ones who make your team successful, which ultimately makes you more revenue. That's what we do.
Yeah, love it. So every day, every weekday, Monday through Friday, 9:30 Central, 10:30 Eastern. It's an hour. It's on Zoom. And sometimes I think people don't jump on things because they think, oh shit, they're gonna call on me. I'm gonna have to participate, right? Well, just like Steve said, well, God forbid
Yeah.
you jump into
Fuck,
something,
God forbid you. Yeah, God forbid your fucking bank account goes up if they call on me. Holy shit, I could learn something. Like,
right?
it's like, here's the thing, Bob. This is a good point. What people don't understand is as a business owner, you have a responsibility to be working on yourself.
Mm,
You've got a responsibility to be the best version of yourself. And if you're not doing it and you go out of business, then I would say shame on you, because there are people relying on you. You don't get the choice
right.
of saying what you do and don't want to do, because you have people relying on you to be successful. So I just think it's kind of like a shame when you don't do that, because you're being lazy. And
Yeah.
that to me is selfish. And so it's like, I tell people like, oh, I don't have time. I'm like, you know what? That fucking ship sailed when you said I wanted to be a business owner.
Right.
You have a responsibility to be the best version of yourself. That's just me. Maybe I'm far off, but that's how I think.
It's funny, Wendy came from the corporate world, right? 35 years of handling long-term disability claims. And so I think it was an adjustment for her to be hanging out with me and seeing me, on maybe it's a Saturday night or a Friday night or even a Sunday morning, just flip open the laptop and be doing work, be engaged in what I refer to as world domination, right? But I noticed, I think it was yesterday or something, we had sat down for lunch or something we were doing, and she was communicating with the clients and getting people scheduled and everything, it wasn't Monday through Friday, right? So it occurred to me that, okay, now she's kind of getting in that cadence of the work needs to get done, right? And it doesn't happen between 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. And if you're an entrepreneur, you got to be going deeper than that. Looks like we might have lost Steve. Maybe he'll come back. You got to be going deeper than that. You got to be hitting your reps. And there's 104 weekend days of the year. So why not grab a couple of hours here or there, one day or the other, get yourself set up for the week. Know what's happening this week. Know where you're going. Who are you talking to? Where are your appointments? Where do you need to be? Lay it out. Takes care of the stuff where you're like, hey, I don't have time. Well, throw it on your calendar. And I can show you my calendar. If it's not on there, it's not happening this week, unless it's in one of the open areas and I have time, So anyway, Steve, I don't know if you're still watching or whatever. I appreciate you jumping on. He took us through the dry clean and drive through. I didn't even know they had one of those. Oh, shoot. Anyway, well, guys, I I hope it's been a good one for you. We went a little bit long today. We grabbed Steve, and that was cool. I've talked to you guys all the time about the Daily Sales Accelerator. We're going to be kind of locking that down the Monday after July 4th. So July 7th, we'll be locking that down. There's a link right on the screen right now for a free pass to join the Daily Sales Accelerator. If you're working on your sales game or you're not and you want to be, jump in. DM me for the link or hit that link right there. That'll get you in for a 7-day free trial. George Ross says 104 weekend days, 3.5 years of discipline. I would have worked an extra year. Yeah, in 3.5 years of discipline, I'd worked at. Yeah, think about that for a minute. I'm not saying go, work every single day all year long, but there's some times in your life where maybe you're just a little bit unbalanced. Maybe just as Wendy says, she's going hard in the paint, and that's okay. You're willing to do the things other people aren't. I'm doing that. I'm going to see where that gets me. And we've talked about a lot of stuff on this resilience series. I got more stuff tomorrow. Let me see if I remember what tomorrow is. Yeah, it's about who you surround yourself with tomorrow. So jump on for that. It's kind of an extension of today. Because resilience isn't just about mindset and habits. It's about the people in your corner. Okay. We're going to talk about how your circle impacts your bounce rate and how to build a resilient tribe. Okay. So that's day 8. And that's a must watch tomorrow. Okay. So guys, I appreciate it. Steve, if you're still watching, thanks for jumping on. I always appreciate it. We always have a good time. I'll catch up with you a little bit later. If you want to jump on the Daily Sales Accelerator today, hit me up with a DM or hit that link. Steve's going to be on for an hour running it. It's Mindset Monday. And mindset is a big part of being an entrepreneur or, frankly, being a leader in your respective W-2. It doesn't matter. We can always use work on mindset. So anyway, guys, hit the link. This was a fun one. Great way to kick off the week. My coffee's empty. Got things to do, and I'm sure you do too. So let's have a great day and an even better week. If you need me, reach out. Scroll back on the thread here. Grab the link for a free strategy call. I'll be happy to give you some time and see if I can help you out. All right, guys, take care. Have a great one.